Hello and welcome back to the Mentor Monday live stream. I'm AJ and of course
I'm Diana.
Um, and we're back.
Yep.
New episode. All right, so today we are going to talk about something we mentioned last time, which is project resources. How to stand out from your peers. Diana, continue.
Well, this is the season when a lot of, group projects are starting, or at least, they're going to be due soon.
Unfortunately.
So we're going to talk a little bit maybe about, the teammates that you'll have in your groups and different ways to kind of stand out when you're giving a presentation. Because trust me, professors are going to see 10, 20 versions of the same PowerPoint, or they'll see something new from you.
Something stellar. Okay, so we've talked about this before. Very few people actually like doing group projects, but that doesn't mean that they aren't valuable. They can be frustrating, they can make you mad at your classmates, but the key is making sure that at the end of the project, everyone's done their fair share and they walk away with the grade they deserve.
Yep. And so make sure that everybody has taken a task and that they actually complete the task that they took. And make sure to keep people accountable of what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to, stand up and say, hey, you're not doing your part, you're not, contributing to the team. We're not here in a group project, you're not there to make friends, you're there to get the grade.
Oh my God.
I mean, I know, it's the truth though.
Okay, yeah.
Would you rather get an A or, be best friends and get an F? I mean, you are paying for this class, remember that.
Asking the hard questions here on Mentor Mondays. No, but all seriousness, I am a big fan of delegating in group projects. So for example, right now, this week I have it's not so much a project as a debate. And so there's two sides to it and there's 4 people. So we broke up into pairs of 2 and everybody is responsible for certain acts that they're covering in the play.
Cool.
To cover the information for it. And that just makes it easier overall. That way, nobody's responsible for the entire project. Everybody has their small little piece. It's more likely to get done on time, and it's more likely to be easier for everyone to fit into their schedule.
Makes sense. And also remember, we want to talk about 5 different types of students that you'll see in the group.
Oh yeah, because there are tropes going on out there.
Yep. So the first type is the invisible student. This is for more of your early on classes when professors are going to assign you a group, not necessarily let you pick. So this invisible student is a student who will reply occasionally to an email that you send or to a group chat and say they'll be there, but they never really show up. You don't really know if they still go to class or anything like that. So definitely keep in touch with your professor if that is the case, and kind of make sure that the student is actually coming to class and going to be a part of the group.
Yeah, if your group member shows up on presentation day and they walk to the front of the room and you don't recognize them as someone in your group, you kind of let the situation go too far. You should definitely be very familiar with who's in your group, know their names, have some sort of way to contact them. Make sure everybody's held accountable and make sure everybody's informed too. You don't want to make sure that you're, forgetting the 6th person because you're friends with all 5 of them.
Yeah. Then there's also the silent student. This student is actually showing up to meetings, showing up to class, showing up to stuff, but they don't really take on anything. They kind of just let everybody else do their thing, and they say 1 or 2 things every so often, but they don't really, take part in the group.
Yeah, and be considerate. Maybe they are shy, but at the same time, this is a group project. Y'all need to be working together, so don't force them to do anything that's going to specifically make them uncomfortable. Don't make them group leader if they have hard enough time even talking in the group meetings, but make sure that they have an equal share in the work. Maybe they're not the best person to be presenting the project in front of the class if public speaking is something they are nervous about, but maybe they can provide the research or operate the PowerPoint at the computer stand. Just come up with something so that they feel included in the project.
Then there's the procrastinator, the person who will take on the task, who will say they'll do it, but they'll wait till the last minute. I'm not saying that they won't get it done. They will get it done, but the group will have a little heart attack on the way.
Yeah, Yeah, that happens way too often, and it stresses everybody out unnecessarily. You definitely want to make sure that if you are picking people in the group, pick somebody that's going to be reliable. And I'm wearing my glasses, and it's really distracting because I never do that. Okay.
And we all procrastinate every so often. It's a part of, being a college student. But at the same time, if there are people relying on you, kind of try to keep, a timely manner on all the stuff that you do.
Yeah, and then, okay. Next character. There is the person who likes to overpromise and underdeliver. So they say they're gonna do 30 slides. They're gonna add all the research to it, and then you look and there's 2 bullet points.
Yeah, they're the ones who are like, dude, I know that this guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who can get us a camera to get this thing going. And on presentation day, they're going to be like, oh, I tried really hard, but, things didn't work out.
Or they're like, you know what, I got this. I'm going to be the one presenting and talking the whole time. And then they get up there and they're like, hi,
Hi.
hi. And that's the presentation. So again, just make sure everybody is kind of like aware of not only like their strengths, but their weaknesses.
And lastly, there's the control freak. This is the person who wants to be a part of every little part of the project. Now, this isn't a bad thing, but the whole point of a group project is that, everybody does their share. Everybody comes together and collaborates. There isn't one person who's doing everything, or one person who's like, hey, AJ, I know I talked to you like 5 minutes ago, but did you get anything done?
I finished the string.
What else did you get done? So don't be that person.
No one likes to be micromanaged. Again, just make sure everybody's on the same page with what they have to do. Stay out of each other's hair unnecessarily, but be up in there enough.
Yep.
That was a really weird way to put that.
That was.
I'm sorry.
And remember, there will always be problems within working a group, but like you do in the real world when you go out, and you're not going to always be working with people you like the best or whatever.
I know.
Work through those problems. These are going to give you skills that you can take into the workforce. Just use each project as a learning experience. And also, I don't know about other other majors, but in engineering especially, we have like a 2-semester class that we have to design and create this whole project, and we have to pick our own group members. So when you're in these like lower division classes, keep an eye out. Who's the person who's responsible? Who's the person you can, delegate tasks and they get it completed on time. And then keep in mind, who are those people who don't do anything, who don't take care of their part of the project. Use these later on when you get in the more advanced classes.
Yeah, don't feel bad about like maybe not including, your friend in your group project. You have to remember that like the stakes are pretty high, especially if it's a 2-semester long project.
Yeah.
You want to be with committed group members that are going to do their duty pretty much. So.
And remember, you are paying for these classes, so if you have to retake it, that's money out of your pocket, not the person who's slacking off in the group.
Yeah, well, it's money out of their
Well,
pocket
I mean,
too. But
eventually.
extra money from
Yeah.
you.
We have a question.
We have a question.
Oh, one sec.
Okay.
We'll keep talking, I guess. So check in with everybody. Great ways to check in are using apps such as like GroupMe or Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and Hangout.
All of these are like free to download on a smartphone. If somebody doesn't have a smartphone, please be considerate of that.
But like GroupMe, Facebook Messenger, all of those you can use a web browser to access the messages on there. So these are great ways to keep in touch. Sometimes people can kind of, overlook an email or, delete it by accident.
Or it goes to spam. That
yeah.
happens to me all the time.
So maybe using an app that's specific for group messaging will be more reliable for getting the message out there.
We have a question. If there are no group evals, how do you let your professor know who did work?
Oh, that's a great question. One of my favorite ways, just going and talking to the professor. A lot of professors have their door open and they won't like turn you around the moment you say somebody's not doing their work. Granted, keep track of this. Show them time and time again through either text messages, emails, just not showing up to the meetings. And this can all be used as proof later on when you do go talk to the professor.
Yeah, and don't ever hesitate to give your professor like status updates on how the project is going. If this is like a month-long project that you have and by week 2 somebody's not showing up or doing anything for the project, like don't hesitate to tell your professor. That's the time that you need to be addressing it, not after the fact once you find out y'all got a D and then it's going to look like you're totally blaming somebody.
Yeah, then the professor's going to be like, oh, you're just not happy with your grade and now you want a scapegoat. But no, if you keep coming, if they see that from day 2 or from like week 2 you came and you were like, look, this person's not doing it, this person's continuously not showing up, then they're going to be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then don't be afraid to ask your group members for help if you're struggling with like a section of your part. This is to encourage collaboration. And after all, the whole reason of group projects is to get people to work together. So asking for help will A, ensure that your group succeeds, and B, will help you learn in the long run. Now, to get the actual project done, we kind of came up with some online resources and other creative ways to actually, give a great presentation.
Okay, so in terms of the online ones, boom, Google Docs. Everyone can edit it at once if you share it with them. Boom, any Microsoft program on OneDrive.
We have OneDrive, and we can share it with people through your UTSA email. You have OneDrive, and you have basically Microsoft Word, you have Microsoft PowerPoint, Excel. All of these are tools you can use, and you can share and work at the same time on these projects.
Can't they go to OIT or something to get OneDrive installed?
Not to get it installed. It's online. It's
online?
through your UTSA apps.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yep, and we use it all the time for work. That's how we get all the scripts for these Mentor Mondays.
You can share calendars, you can send messages. It's honestly, it's really convenient.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the last one, boom, number 3, Prezi.
Prezi. I personally love Prezi. It's like a PowerPoint, only a really creative way to jump through slides. The transition is really awesome. I just like how it comes in the end.
I will say one thing though about Prezi. When you got one that's like boom, 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 like going like page after page, it starts to look like Inception, and it can give me a headache sometimes.
So yeah, definitely be mindful of who you're presenting to and what your content is.
Yeah.
If it's like a light, fun content, then you can probably go through a Prezi.
Yeah.
If it's like a research paper, Prezi is probably not
good.
not
Probably
the best.
you can have like subheading.
paragraph after paragraph after
Yeah.
paragraph.
Make sure that you're paying attention to the actual assignment sheet or description that your professor is giving to you, and of course, always ask them a question if you're not sure.
Oh yeah. Another great way, these are creative ways that don't necessarily involve technology or, online resources, but you can make like a movie on iMovie, make a debate. Those are really cool, especially if you're kind of talking on a persuasive topic where you're trying to get somebody on your side. A debate would be cool. Performance.
Sorry, I got excited.
Or maybe like a blog style. I know you were telling me about a class where you had to write a blog.
Yeah, one of my classes, you had to make your own culture, but you had to present that through like a travel blog from somebody within that culture. It was really challenging, but honestly, like it was definitely more fun, and I don't see how we could have done the project in any other format. Like if we had just gone up there and like said what it would have been way boring, but doing it in the blog, I see like it made it more interesting for people to actually read and look it up.
Yeah, that sounds really like a lot of fun.
I am with you in Sockland.blogspot.com. Go look it up. Don't look it up.
Is it online?
It is. It's online.
I'm excited.
No.
All right. So I guess, do you have any other ideas?
No, just take it seriously. I mean, a lot of times these group projects are worth like a huge chunk of your final grade. So take it seriously. Don't mess around.
Communication is really key. Like any relationship, your group project, your group is a
any
relationship.
successful relationship. Dr. Diana here.
Sitting down with. Definitely, talk to your group mates. If somebody isn't really like excited about your topic, they're probably going to stop coming to group meetings. They're going to stop, participating. So talk to your group and make sure everybody's okay with what you're doing, okay with your presentation style, with the amount of work each of you has. Just always talk, and don't be afraid if you feel like something isn't going the way you'd like it to go, to speak up and talk about it to your
Make group meetings a safe place. I think that's pretty much it.
Pretty much. So I guess some final wrap-up tips?
Yeah, wrap-ups for your group project. Have a timeline. Make sure everybody is on track and on schedule. Have those layover days. That way not everything's getting bumped up into the deadline.
Yep. Start early. Don't wait till the last minute. It can be crazy if you wait till the last minute. I remember I had an 8 o'clock class that I waited till the night before. So we were up until like 6 in the morning.
That's 2 hours before.
Well, we got to sleep 1 hour, and then I got up at 5 to get here.
That's
not 5.
horrible.
That's not the time.
Have a timeline.
Yes. And don't procrastinate.
Have an outline of thought processes. I'm not too sure about this. Could you?
I guess like kind of have like an outline or thought process, a way to tackle the project. Don't just say, okay, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. Let's go, and like never talk again until the presentation day.
Okay.
Have an outline and make sure everybody understands where their part's going, how each part is going to mingle with the other parts. I think we have a mentor tip.
Okay.
We can insert it in.
Okay, mentor tip from one of our other wonderful peer mentors who watches our
here.
videos. Go on Pinterest and look at ideas.
Oh, Pinterest is great. great.
I love it,
ideas.
honestly. I look
Yeah.
at Pinterest all the time. Just don't get distracted.
Yes.
Stay focused.
But yeah, Pinterest does have really great ideas for group projects, for just any, creative thing you need to do.
Yeah, it'll definitely make your presentation stand out if you have a little pizzazz. I don't know. A little Pinterest pizzazz. I'm just advocating for Pinterest.
Don't be afraid to go and ask your professor along the way to make sure you're right on the right track. One of my biggest fears is going and talking to my professor about a project, but it's always helpful to go and say, okay, look, this is what we're planning to do. This is what we've gotten done so far. Is this the right step? And they'll tell you. They'll be honest. They'll be like, not really, or maybe you should go in a different direction, or yeah, that's pretty good. Just go a little bit more in detail. After all, they are the ones who are grading you, so they are the most knowledgeable of what they want.
Better to get criticism before that you can apply than criticism after, and you're like, you know what, that would have been a great idea.
Yep. And then again, have a group evaluation at the end. Maybe it's not going to be a formal one given to you by your professor, but sit down either with yourself or with your group mates and kind of think about those who worked well, who didn't work well. Maybe even tell those who didn't do as much or didn't do their part in the group, tell them and let them know, hey, next time if we're going to be in a group or next group you're in, maybe contribute a little bit more. Trust me, it may hurt them right now, but in the long run, it will help them.
Sorry, I'm so thirsty right now. This is my second drink on this video. Okay, so I guess we should move on to announcements.
Announcements. So I guess that's it for the tips. Presentations?
Yeah, sure. If y'all have any questions, feel
Definitely.
free to leave them and we'll respond to them either in the comments or in our next video. Okay, so announcements. You've probably been getting emails from your UTSA email account that course evaluations are open. Do them. Yeah, that was really good. Matched pitch. Do them. A lot of professors will often give you extra credit, and even if they don't, it's really a good way to give the professors feedback. That way they can improve their courses and their teaching style for future students.
A really important thing one of my professors mentioned this morning was these course evals actually, when they are going up and they're being, I guess, evaluated at the end of the school year, these course evals will be brought up and they'll be like, okay, so many students said that you weren't talking about the topic properly or whatnot. So you do have a say, you do have a voice in changing the way the professor teaches or the way, he's understood by students, stuff like that.
Yeah, your professor evaluates you, but don't forget that they get evaluated by somebody else to see if they're doing their job right. So let's all do our little part to make the whole process, worthwhile.
Yep. This week, according to how many credit hours you have, registration for the fall will open. So the date, I believe I get to register on Thursday.
The 6th?
Either the 5th or the 6th, depending on credit hours.
Yeah, remember that it goes in descending order. So seniors and higher students get to register first, and it goes down the line until freshmen register last. Mm-hmm. That's so people that only have so many more semesters. Do you want to read it? Okay, yeah. We have the schedule right here.
So if you are a doctoral student or grad student, or you're going for your teacher certificate, April 3rd, I guess that was today, at 7 a.m. registration began. Seniors with
8 o'clock.
And honors students at 7 a.m. got to open their registration today. If you're a senior with 116 or more hours, you are tomorrow at 7 a.m., April 4th. Seniors with 90 to 115 credit hours, you get to register April 5th. Juniors with 60 to 89 credit hours, April 6th. Sophomores with 30 or 30 to 59 credit hours, April 10th. Freshmen with 20 to 29 credit hours, April 11th. And freshmen with 0 to 19 credit hours, you get to register April 12th.
Yeah, and if you need to see the schedule, it will be on ASAP.
Yes.
Just go to your registration. And when you're registering for your classes, we've talked about this before, but make sure you're staying in touch with your advisor. And you have backup classes. I think we've talked about registration before in our past videos.
A really cool thing, real quick, I want to put this in, is DegreeWorks. Definitely lets you know how many classes you need or you have left in your degree. And if you click on the course number, it'll tell you what prereqs, it'll give you a description and what day and hour it's available to register for. First Gen Grad Fest.
No, just
First Gen Fest. First Gen Fest tomorrow, April 4th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Sombria.
Also, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So what is that? Is that tomorrow? Okay, so tomorrow is call to action day at the UC Paseo, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. You know, stay informed, stay aware, be safe.
RTE recruitment mixer. So if you want to be a peer mentor like us for the fall, definitely come to the mixer and apply online. The mixer is April 6th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the HUC Travis room.
Oh, were you not going to read the room number?
Oh, well, it's the Travis room 20202.
All right. Going on this weekend, April 8th from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Ooh, midnight. There's a late night barbecue. Free
There's
food.
free food.
While it lasts, so get
Yes.
here early, stay
At
late.
like 9 p.m.
At 9 p.m. Oh yeah, it starts at 9.
Early.
Also going on is FTK for the Kids Dance Marathon, also April 8th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So
Yep.
do
And
a
then
little good for charity.
UTSA T-shirt exchange is April 12th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Not really sure what the...
I think I got like a message on it, something. It's like you bring in like an old high school T-shirt or any other school shirt, and you can trade it for a UTSA T-shirt. You know, rebrand yourself.
Really? Oh, cool. I mean, I have a ton of UTSA shirts.
Yeah, me too. So that's pretty much what's going on right now. We will have another video in 2 weeks, which will be, who knows what date that is. Oh my God.
We don't know what day that is. It is the 17th
It is
of
the
April.
17th. So tune back in on the
Yay.
17th, 7:30 p.m. We'll be here,
Yep.
like we always are.
And we'll be probably talking about just finals and wrapping up the semester.
Ooh, yeah, the semester is coming to a close. Counting this week, there are 4 weeks left until finals, so 2 videos left in this semester.
Yep.
Yeesh. So that's it for now. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Again, I am AJ.
I'm Diana. See ya.
Bye!
Bye.